Okay. And now we have sound. Okay.
Sound.
Yeah, for some strange reason, the sound disappeared too. So, let's see here. Now
I
that
don't
we
know what
got
I
all
touched the
that.
camera and it made stuff go wrong. Wrong.
So sad.
Incorrect.
Okay, let's see here. Start recording, and here we go. Only took 11 minutes. uh, well, welcome to another exciting episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Yeah, looks like
I'll tell
nothing's
you
going to
about
change.
joking. Midterms.
Which is the same as the beginning of the term, the end of the term. Nothing has changed. Nothing.
Oh, and nothing will change. It's fun to. So Elon bought Twitter, so I went ahead and made a new account. I don't know if we've spoken of this before, because I used to have a couple accounts back when I was in bands and stuff. And since I couldn't remember the passwords because it's been so long since
Yeah.
I've been on Twitter, I went ahead and made a new account, and it is not disappointing. I mean, both sides crying just like they've always been crying for decades now.
Yeah.
Especially about the votes and the slow counting and all that stuff. I mean, it doesn't change. It's been like this since I've been able to vote.
Well, you and I have been talking all this time about, if you want change, then you got to change what you're voting for. Get the people out of there that's been in there screwing things up all this time. But nobody's doing that. They're still voting for the same morons.
Or even bigger morons, Fetterman. So.
Well, I wasn't even going to pass names. Just.
Oh, I'm not afraid to say names of idiots. McConnell, Schumer, Pelosi, all these people now. Fetterman. It's disgusting to see the people that are being put in power and the people that have remained in power for way too long.
Yeah. And
I thought of a new thing though, because people don't like the idea of term limits for the legislators because they think those people are doing a good job for some reason. Well, you can't just be there for 4 years because you can't pass a bill. And it's like, idiot, yes you can, because if it's good enough, the next person put in office will take the baton and carry on. But let's do this. How about 10 years or $10 million, whichever comes first, and then you're out.
Well, that's what you were talking about last time. But they're idiots for saying what they were saying because nothing gets done anyway without term limits, because as soon as one gets out of office or the Republicans take control or it switches over to Democratic control, then they undo everything that was already done. You need to get them to where they quit doing that crap. So get rid of the ones that have been fighting all this time. Get rid of the ones that have been screwing things up all this time. Put new blood in there and say, now get something done or you're out too.
Well, there were roughly 400 seats up for re-election.
And what? 30 change?
There were only, what, 8? Or no, I'm going to say there might have been 20 new faces put at podiums. There should have been 400 plus.
Yeah.
They've all been gone.
Yeah.
And I don't care, Fetterman or Oz, that's a new face, right?
Right.
They've changed. So I don't care. I mean, sorry for Pennsylvania because your choices were shit and a pile of shit. So, but at least the face changed. And,
yeah.
So obviously, because I've often said if we were really ready for change, we would make change happen. But we just want to talk about change. We want to be able to discuss how horrible they are against them. So nothing's going to change except for
how much it's going to cost us.
We're hoping for a red wave, so the only thing that's going to change is who's crying about what happened and who's boasting about what happened.
The only thing that's going to change is the deficit's going to continue to go up, and it's going to cost us personally more money out of our pockets every month. That's the only change that's going to come.
That's a continuation.
Yeah.
The debt and the deficit.
Yep.
It's just continuing.
and, if they got rid of these people and put new blood in, then we would have a chance. But until that happens, we're screwed.
Yeah, and I think a few people that I've spoken to are like, How can you do that? It would just destroy everything. It's like, that's the idea.
It wouldn't destroy anything.
Yeah, it would destroy the globalists' ability to manipulate the common people.
Well, yeah, it would destroy their control over us.
And it really might not even be permanent. It just take them a minute to wrangle the right people in, because everyone's got a price. Everyone.
I've never been money motivated. That pisses my wife off.
No one's offered you enough money to motivate you for something that they want you to do for them.
Well, yeah, but it would
That's the
still
only reason.
depend. It would still depend on what it was as to whether or not I'd do it.
But still, money would motivate you.
I don't know.
To
Give me a
save
couple
people
million and
and
we'll see.
to do something. Yeah, money would motivate you on good causes just as well as it would motivate you for bad things. Let's not sit here and pretend that if someone offered you $10 billion to build them a house, you wouldn't do it. That's money motivating you.
No, $10 billion. Let's try it.
Anybody out there got 10 billion, need a house built? How big you want the house? For 10 billion, we can probably do 100,000 square feet, depending on elaborations in design.
Well, I don't know. It'll get you at least a 5-bedroom.
Yeah.
3-bath.
Oh, 5-bath. Each bedroom has an ensuite. Come on, for 10 billion?
Yeah, for 10 billion, they can go next door to pee.
Anyway, if you say that money won't motivate you, you're fucking lying, is all I can say. I mean, why do you go to work every day? You're on the air.
Calling about your Google My Business listing.
They're calling from the right number, but yeah, but they keep going. It's an advertisement trying to get me to sign up for some shit, you know.
All right.
Yeah, get on some Google listing, you know, business listing. So why bother?
I don't know. My business is doing fine. I've been selling about 2 coins a month. It's doing all right. I mean, I'm just trying to get rid of these 7K turd piles. So I just call them turd piles because I don't like the corporation.
Yeah. Let's see here.
See, and that's money motivating.
Yeah. See, I ain't got anything like that.
I mean, you go to work to make money. That's a money motivator. See, people who pretend that they're not motivated by money are like people that tell you they don't masturbate. They're damn liars.
Well, if you got a good woman, you don't need to.
That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, it is.
No, because if she's gone for a couple of days, you might have to, because you've been thinking about that good woman.
Well, I'll let you know when she leaves.
I just left. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. And by a second, I mean a second. I'm going to call you Speedy for nothing.
Well, actually, that's exactly why they call me Speedy.
For nothing?
Yep.
Thanks for nothing. I was as quick as I could. So yeah, it's and the arguments are exactly the same as they've always been. The excuses and the criticisms are the exact same as they have always been. It's just rhetoric anymore. It's like the people enjoy this, because if they didn't enjoy what's going on, they would change it, right?
Well, you'd think, but then again, you know, an alcoholic may not enjoy being an alcoholic, but they don't change it. A drug addict may not enjoy being a drug addict, but they don't change it. Okay, so it's the same thing. You know, these people may not enjoy being stupid and idiotic, but they're not putting in the effort to change it. So, you know, they may not enjoy it. But
everybody's like, we got to do something different. Let's go vote
for the same people.
What are you doing different? I'm voting. Yeah, but what are you doing different? I'm voting blue this time. What's that changing? Nothing.
Yeah.
Vote harder next time. That'll probably get you what you need.
Yeah.
I'm voting as hard as I can.
That's right. I took 2 Viagra before I got in there.
Stamp the D. He had a D next to his name after I voted for him. Yeah, he's I don't know. I think the two-party system's been broken since before Reagan. I think we're just gonna ride this wave down into the gutter and live in the gutter with it. And it's hard. It's really difficult to watch everything that's going on and see people myopically focused, because there are some that are not so narrowly focused that they can see more than just a picture, because there is a big collage. It's not just a big picture, it's a collage, because like the globalists are taking over our financial ability by the CBDC release. When in 2 years you're going to only be able to use the CBDC. They're trying to take over all of the farming everywhere.
Yeah.
New Zealand, Norway, India, China, some in Russia. They're trying to grab up the ability to control the food. And when that happens, probably take them another 10 years. And when that happens, we've lost.
I pretty much figure we lost after this vote. Since nobody changed anything, then game over.
I have a firm belief that our government really doesn't matter. They're just there for us to bicker amongst each other.
Well, you're right about that, but that is the problem. If they were doing their job, then they would matter.
But they are doing their job for the globalists.
If they're doing their job for themselves, but they're not representing the people.
No, they're working for the globalists. If they were working for the people, might not be that bad, no matter who's in control.
Yeah.
But since they work for the globalists, it doesn't matter who's in control. What matters is that we keep infighting about it.
They work for the globalists in a roundabout way, because mostly they're working for themselves.
There's no roundabout about it. It's directly. They shout that shit out in the open now. We work for the globalist. F you.
Yeah, because they're the ones that line their pockets.
Correct. Which is exactly how it shouldn't be. But vote blue no matter who. Vote red or else the republic is dead. You're both fucking idiots.
Yeah. Vote new.
We need to put a guillotine on the steps of every capital. We need to start using them. We need a French Revolution.
Yeah. Little guillotines for toenails.
Big guillotines for those fat heads. This block is not big enough.
Yeah, well, I kind of like your slogans, but the one that really sticks to my mind would be vote new. That'll do.
Vote new.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do? Vote new. But it won't happen.
No, it
Because
won't.
people that are so fixated, there's the Republican side and there's the Democrat side. And those people are just basically football hooligans. My team, no matter what my team can't fail. There's nothing they do wrong. They need to be in charge. But they did this. Oh, but your team did that too. Now the blue team's in there. My team's great. My team did. Your team's the bad team. Well, your guy did this. Well, his team did that too. Both guys do the same shit, and all we do is fight about what color is in charge, red or blue, red or blue.
Yeah. But if you think about it,
and let them bleed out.
well, if you think about it, this is what they gave us to begin with. Okay, they gave us red and blue. Okay.
No, they didn't. When the Constitution was ratified, there were at least 4 parties.
Yeah.
It's been whittled down to 2.
Yeah.
Just like our oil conglomerates have been whittled down to 3. Just like our entertainment conglomerates have been whittled down to 6. Smaller and smaller. The illusion of choice. What did George
Either
Carlin
way,
say?
what do you
There's
get
an
when you
illusion
mix
of
red and
choice.
blue? You get a
And
bruise.
there, the only real choice you have is what you want on your bagel tomorrow. Other than that, no choice. When they tell us these are the people you get to vote for, that's not a choice.
No. Yeah, I agree with you there. But either way, you mix red and blue, you get a bruise.
If we stop the division and just everybody ran on platforms as opposed to Democratic, Republican, Independent, Green Party.
Yeah.
This guy's running and he wants no more child molesters in schools. Okay, cool. This guy's running and he thinks that guns need to be regulated so that they all have automatic fire. Get him in now.
Yeah, I do agree that they need to just get rid of the parties, actually, just because it's not doing any good. All it does is create havoc and
Create
conflict.
division, and that's
Yeah.
why they'll never go away.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if they got rid of those and it was just on the people.
Yeah, because you can have a green platform, just don't be Green Party.
Yeah.
And you can have an independent platform, you can have a Democratic platform, you can have a Republican platform. You can, I mean, when women got the vote, I'm surprised they didn't bring the Whig Party back, but whatever. So you can have any kind of platform you want, and it doesn't matter, male, female, bi, trans, whatever. If you have good ideas and a great platform, let's try it.
Yeah.
As opposed to what's been going on for the past 75 years. The corporation wants you to do this. Yes, sir. The corporation wants you to do this. Oh, I don't know if I can. Here's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I will do my best. Hey, the people need this. Yeah, too bad the corporations are paying for something else.
Yeah.
But when they're on the podium, we're going to do everything we can for the people. We're going to make this work for you. We're going to make this work for them. This is all for the people. We're doing everything for the people. Those people on that side, though, they're bad because they're trying to do everything against us. Meanwhile, in the background, did I say the right thing? Are we getting enough votes? Yes.
Please take your hand out of my butt. I've said what you wanted me to.
Oh, no, that hand is staying there until the stink permeates my wrist. Yeah, it's a sad situation we're in. And what's sadder is that the people, there's people that can see it. I mean, I just wonder, because how long has it been since did not vote outnumbered voters? It's been a couple of maybe a decade, because the votes every 2 years, and like
maybe
in the Clinton Trump battle. Did not vote was the largest number on the screen. Republican, Democrat, did not vote. So if we could get those did not voters to tell us who they wanted, in office, because they obviously didn't see a good choice on the stage. So who was it that they wanted to vote for but couldn't?
Yeah. Well, that's where we're making where we have our mistakes is they limit us down to just this amount of people, just these people.
And that's the key word, they.
Yeah. But they limit us to who we can choose. They decide who is going to be allowed to run,
Yep.
And I don't think that that's right. They shouldn't be able to say anything about it. It should be, if you want to run. And, it's up to you and whoever you can get to help you out to get the money up, and then everybody should have the same amount of media time.
See, media time should be free for candidates.
Yes.
Legitimate candidates.
But they should.
You get a lot of people like, I could be like, hey, I'm running for president next, whatever. And if I do it on YouTube, I might gain some traction. But if I'm not real and I don't have a good platform, I'm not going to get money so I can buy airtime.
Right.
Now, if I had enough people behind me because what I was trying to postulate was good for a large enough number of people to actually get attention, then maybe I should get 10 minutes on the air,
Yeah.
Dispersed in 30-second increments throughout. Whoa.
Yeah, I think everybody ought to be able to do it, and everybody ought to be able to have the same amount of media time. I mean, you think about it. Every time there's any kind of a vote going on, okay, then you got a certain number of candidates for whatever the case may be that is just slamming the television and the radio. And this message brought by, all this.
Yeah.
I approve this message. Okay.
Yeah.
But you get slammed by just a few of them.
Pfizer.
Yeah, but you get slammed by just a few of them. You know. So, but might as well just go ahead and say, okay, fine. The Adams family is canceled until the end of the vote. All we're going to have is candidates going for 5-minute or 10-minute commercials. But everybody gets one.
Why don't we use our technology to vote? Because if you want to join Team Fetterman, all you have to do is text Fetterman to 783121. So how come we can't do that to vote? Like American Idol, one commercial break and they've counted 5 million votes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why can't we vote with our phones now? Why can't we just do a cell phone vote? If everyone's vote counts, if they can, how would they determine that that's I guess from the digital ID, because it would say, whose phone it is. I don't know.
Well, I've got two
I guess I
phones
could
right
buy 10
here.
throwaway phones and have 10 votes.
Yeah. But what they should do and everything is like you said, except you have to enter your social security number. Everybody's got one.
That could be good.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't matter. 10 people vote from the same phone. Someone uses 10 phones to vote. You better have 10 fresh social security numbers.
Yeah.
Which is impossible.
No, there are plenty of dead people that haven't been considered dead yet.
Yeah,
but
vote
it would
decade.
cut down on a lot of it.
My grandpa's voted 15 times. He's been dead 22 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there is there is a way to do it, to go ahead and just use your social security number and a PIN number. When you register, you enter a PIN number.
Guarantee American votes are counted and American votes are good is to have Saturday, Sunday as National Voting Weekend on election years. Bring your ID, make your vote known.
Well, you'd have to have 2 weekdays and then the weekend, because some people don't get weekends off.
If they made it a national holiday, Saturday and Sunday, the people that don't get weekends off would get that weekend off paid.
Well, I don't know.
Like I got for every national holiday when I was working in a government job.
Yeah, government job. But if you're driving truck, you're not going to be able to get back to your town.
Okay,
Maybe.
well, let me ask you this: what's more important, missing a couple of hours of work because it takes you maybe a couple hours to vote, or missing the vote?
Well, yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. See, that's if you make excuses to not vote, fuck it, don't vote.
Yeah, but what I was thinking is if everybody's got to register to vote. So when you register, then you enter you create a PIN number just like you do with an email or whatever, and then go ahead and take that PIN number and it's locked into your social security number for one time, and then you go ahead and you can do your vote, and it's electronic. You enter that PIN number with your social security number, and bam. There you go, and it's verified. And that way there, nobody can use a different social security number because they have to register with that social security number and with the PIN number.
Voter ID laws are racist, bro.
No, they're common sense.
Bro, they're racist.
No, because
They're
does,
racist.
I don't care if you're green,
Can't get their ID, bro.
if you're white, black, green, whatever, it doesn't matter. You got a social security number.
Did you know that in some of the lower income areas in our bigger cities that are Republican controlled, they actually have free ID? You can get it on the internet. You can get on the internet and you can get a free ID.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. If you got your social security number and the PIN number, you're golden. You don't need ID. And everybody that's
Your
legal
number
to
is
vote,
ID.
anybody that's legal to vote in this country has a social security number.
Anybody born after the 50s, I guess, yeah. I'm just telling you, man. is ID. So either one, an actual state ID, which would show which state you live in and who you can vote for statewide, or a social security number, and it doesn't matter who you're voting for or where they reside or where they're representing, your vote is heard. Like I'm over here, I'm going Pennsylvania. Neither, none of the above. So
Except there again, you have to register. So when you register, they know where you're at. If you registered in Pennsylvania, then yeah.
Voting with your social security number, then you're voting for wherever. If you're voting with your ID, your state issued ID, then you're voting for that state.
If you register in Washington and you use
what if I register in Washington and then move to California and I'm only there for 3 months? Now where am I voting? So my vote comes from California because they're tracking. But I'm registered.
And then you get online, get that free ID. And for California, you still have your Washington driver's license, and wow, there you go.
For a year to vote for people in California. Well, it's that way in every state, I'm pretty sure.
It should be, but
I mean, unless you're coming over the southern border, then you can vote immediately.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, isn't it?
No, that's actually disgusting that those people can come over the border, get all the help they need, and meanwhile we got 22 veterans a day killing themselves on the streets.
Yeah, and yet if you're coming from Canada, you don't have the same rights.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. That's why that one guy came through Mexico from Canada.
Uh-huh.
Number 1, to avoid the lines. Number 2, because it's better.
Yeah, you got more rights when you come up from the south instead of come down from the north. I don't understand it, but
that's the system we live in. That's the system we've agreed to. Let me go get my fiddle. Rome is burning. It's all right though. It's entertaining. Like I said, Twitter. Oh man, it's fantastic. Watching both now, and it was at first it was just because Elon bought it and everything he said. I was just like, I got to see this. And so the Dems and the Libs are just and now after the election, everyone it's just like, this is gold, man. This is gold. Let me screenshot that. Okay, let me screenshot that. Here, let me do a little poke and prod there. I'm such a bad person.
Yeah, see, I just don't even do Twitter very much. I'll go ahead every once in a while and I'll look or post, but most of the time it's nothing, because even when you click on the thing because you want to get more information, it just gives you more of the exact same shit all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
And, so then you might as well just say, forget it and go on out, Google it so you can actually get something, and it's just a pain. So.
Well, it's like today there was an NEA post, which is the Teachers Association. And they're like, the teachers love their children. So I went ahead and retweeted it and said, that wouldn't be as disgusting if so many teachers weren't pedophiles.
Yeah, some teachers love their children too much. Yes.
Yeah. And then a couple hours later, they changed that tweet to include teachers and parents. Oh man, they got a little bit of backlash for their post.
Yeah, teachers and parents.
And when they changed it, I went ahead and reposted. Homeschooling is better than state indoctrination all day.
Yeah, well, I tried that with mine, but she decided she had to go back to school.
Well, if you homeschool from K through 8 and then let them go 9 through 12, I can understand that, because number one, they're prepared as far as knowledge wise, if you were a good teacher to your student. And number two, it's great for them to finally get out there and start socializing with people their age, start having fun. Because going to school after homeschooling, you're basically coasting, because they're not teaching you anything new, and you've got a good enough grip on math, hopefully reading, hopefully social studies, hopefully so the only real challenge might be physical education because I'm sure you didn't have them doing laps around the house.
Uh, Try and get her to get off the
But
bed.
other than that, it's a great time, 9 through 12 and then beyond, to start socializing with people their age, getting ideas, learning things, having fun.
Yeah, but that again, that depends on the child. You know,
Depends on
some of them
depends
actually
on
need
the
that.
parent, not the child.
Well, some of the kids actually need the socializing more because otherwise they turn inward and depression hits. So, now if you can get the time and you have the money and this kind of stuff to where you can take them out and get them, um, if you want to pay $200 a month for the Boys and Girls Club or something, to where they have more socializing, you know,
Well,
that
you can go to parks and you can go to beaches and stuff, whatever's close to your house, and there's going to be other children there. You don't have to pay some state-run thing to socialize your children. You can actually do that yourself by taking a weekend or an after-school day at home and going to a park where there are other children roughly their age and have interaction.
Well, I remember meeting kids that had a hard time um, introducing themselves. They were too shy. So if somebody would come up, they kind of back off. Even another kid, they just kind of back off. So when they get into school, they're stuck in this room together for so long, and they get to know each other even without, everything. And so they do end up starting to get more comfortable with these people that they've been around a long time with,
Yeah,
and
have
they
you ever
start
heard of a
socializing.
goth?
So
Have
what?
you ever heard of an introvert? Social interaction does not guarantee the introvertedness is going to just dissipate.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that the I've seen some kids that were like this, you
I've
know.
seen
And
kids
in fact, I
that were
used to be extreme. I used to be
out.
extremely shy. Yeah,
What's his name?
I
Who's the
don't.
guy who sang for the Doors?
Oh, Jim
Jim
Morrison.
Morrison.
Yeah,
Okay, that guy suffered from stage fright.
yeah.
That guy would sing back here, not looking at the crowd for a long time. And he finally came out of his box and would face the crowd. So so yes, people can change, but it's not always about the environment that changes them. A lot of the change happens here.
Right.
And people that can't change here do need a little bit of push, maybe, or just extra care.
Mm.
But that person being in an environment does not mean that they will adapt to that environment.
Yeah. Well, here's a good example
Once
because
you run out of air when you're 60 feet down, you're fucked.
I used to be extremely shy myself and pretty much withdrawn from everybody. And so when I would change schools, this is of course before they had where I lived, you didn't have closed campus, you know. So I would, for like lunch, instead of going into the cafeteria, I would take my lunch bag and I would take off out and go sit someplace where I was by myself, maybe a block or so away from the school.
Yeah, well, that's a choice that you made personally. See,
Yeah,
I never went to the same school twice until ninth grade, and sometimes I went to two different schools in the same school year.
yeah, same here.
Sometimes no friends at all, sometimes lots of friends. It depends on how those people are and how I interacted with them to determine on whether or not I could have lunch by myself in the cafeteria, in a crowd in the cafeteria, or out in the playground because I didn't want to, get beat up or fight somebody.
Yeah, it's like first grade, I went to Page. Second grade, or second grade, I went for the first half to Page. The second half was in Clearwater, and then I started off in Clearwater again in third, and immediately went to Portland, and then from Portland, mid-year, I ended up in Pomeroy. So it was same thing as you. It's just it took a while for me to get to where I was comfortable enough around these people to even talk, or to play, Of course, now it's totally different, I mean, now I don't care who you are. I just come on out and I'll be an equal opportunity asshole or whatever, just,
that's all we can ask for. Let's all just be equal opportunity assholes, because one man's asshole is another man's fun time,
Yeah.
so no pun intended. But I mean, what did Nancy Kerrigan say after her knee got blasted? Can't we all just get along? No, we can't all just get along. We have to actually figure out who each other are, and sometimes people got needs. Like, I need affirmation. That's why I get on stage and tell jokes, man. Come on. We both need affirmation. That's why we're doing this show. I need so much affirmation. I'm doing another show at 4:00 today that goes 3 hours, not just one. How many followers you got on that show? I think 4. But it's different for everybody. Even groups with similarities, there's still intrinsic, small, tiny little differences, and that's fine. That's what individualism is.
Yeah.
And kids that have trouble exist, and I acknowledge that, but I don't think that forcing them to adapt to an environment is better than letting them integrate themselves into that environment if it's possible for them to do it. And if it's not possible for them to do it on their own, the help to be given to see if they can, I don't know what it is, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not I'm not a human specialist. I don't know nothing. All I can go by is my experience. And my experience was and sometimes it was rough, sometimes it was easy as slipping on butter.
Yeah. I'll
But
agree with you to that point.
Going to multiple schools and having those multiple interactions on those different levels, both mentally, physically, psychologically, I think that helped me to be able to adapt as I progressed.
That's where I was going to go. Yeah. Because, I traveled all over the place, and, I met a lot of different people. I ended up integrating and associating with people from all walks of life, from the very wealthy to the very poor, very religious to very not, and everything in between, And then, my son, when he was young, I got him going through different schools and moving around a bit and everything, and so he got to meet different walks of people too. And he's one of the most level-headed and easygoing guys, just because when I was raising him, I always thought that was one of the best things that happened to me, was that I got to go around and meet different people. I didn't get stuck in the same deal. And so, and I think it actually paid off a lot for him that way, because my oldest daughter, she went to the same school, the same elementary school, the same daycare, until she was 12, and then they moved, and then she had some trouble, and then she stayed there until she was 16, when she came back to me, and she had a hard time getting used to the new school and dealing with it. And so she's not quite as easily. She doesn't mesh with others as easily as quickly.
Well, see, that's probably the other end of the spectrum, is where when someone is like, you're in a neighborhood and you're there, you have a kid and you're still in that neighborhood all the way to K through whatever, and now they've integrated into a clique. They've got their group of friends, and you pull them out of that, and put them somewhere new. It's like,
yeah.
So there's going to be an exception to every rule, and it's just hard to determine what's going to happen. But see, The real question is it better to be stable or to be, integrated in multiple areas? That's a hard call, because for some people the stability works, and for some people they don't have the choice of stability.
Well, there's a word there, stability. My son, he had a stable home life. Okay, even though our home moved,
Yeah.
he was stable. He had a stable family life. He had, I was always there for him. And this kind of stuff. Now, when
That's another thing that's very important.
yeah, so he and I were probably best friends as well, even though I always stayed on the parent level and kept him on the child level. But I also let him help make some of the decisions, because if it was going to affect him as well, like he helped make the decision whether I took the job in Kentucky or not.
Hmm.
You know, uh, But then again, I also let him respectfully argue or disagree with me, I should say, not argue, but disagree, and we would discuss things. And I couldn't believe it, but I actually lost an argument with an 8-year-old kid because he was right, and he was able to show me that he was right. So I had to back off and say, okay.
Hey, you know what? You're right, but I'm the dad, so ha ha.
Yeah, well, I tried not to do that, but yeah, there were times where I did. Well, whether you think it's right or not, no, we're going to do it this way.
Oh, look, you are right. Too bad.
Yeah, but
it's still bedtime. But yeah, see, that's another thing. Parents being very involved with the child all through their growth.
Yeah.
Is to me a very, very important thing, which is why we have so many people in jail, because the idea for socialism is to break the family unit up, and so more stress,
Yeah,
harder life. But because you very, very, very rarely read about an honor student whose parents were involved in their curriculum a majority of the time. Those are rarely a school shooter. It's usually the guy that was alone, no one cared what he did.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's just you know we can turn it back to the beginning of the conversation where all this change that everybody says they want, if they would have actually done it, and if they would do it and change everybody out of there and get it back to where we can get our economy back under control and everything, maybe we could actually get the family unit back under control.
I agree. I totally agree. If we can rein in the globalists and the corporations that are running the country, make a complete change of the guard that are in the House, the Senate, and a lot of local governing areas, we could probably regain control of our economy in a few years, and then regain control of the nuclear family a couple years after that, and really turn this country around. But that's not what the people want. But the people want to argue and bicker and cry and bemoan. We need change. We need change. Who did you vote for? Something? You're a Democrat, right? So did you vote for a Republican? Because that would be a great change. Oh no, vote blue no matter who. Well, you're not changing shit. Yeah. Same side from the Republican side. Gotta vote red. Gotta vote red. Doesn't matter who it is. Gotta vote red. It's like, bro, no, you don't.
No, vote new, no matter who.
Vote out the old. Well, we're gonna freeze this winter because we're cold.
Vote new. That'll do.
Vote new. See what we can do.
But either way, out with the old.
Anyone that's been in office for longer than 10 years should have been voted out in this cycle.
In my opinion, right now, the way it is right now, anybody that's been in there for more than one term, that's it. They should be gone.
God, I mean, AOC, get that thing out of there. Who's been in for one term besides her that we dislike? What Sanders? He's been in government for a while, but he's only been a senator for what 3 or 4 terms now.
Yeah, but I like his chicken.
I don't. Too greasy.
I like the extra crispy.
word.
I like
Just
the
like-
extra crispy, not the original.
Getting ready to be extra crispy. Yeah, I mean, that guy, Sanders, McConnell, all these people that have been in, like a lot of these people have been in for there's
Decades.
probably 20 representatives that have been in for over 5 decades.
Yeah.
And Biden is about to be one of those.
Well, I'm surprised he ever got in, let alone.
Nancy Pelosi was in when Reagan was in office, and the first thing she did was say, "We need to impeach Reagan," which I don't disagree with, but that's how long she's been in there crying about the other side.
Yeah. Well, like I said, anybody that's been in there for longer than one term shouldn't be in there for a second.
Right now, I agree. Everyone from say mayor up, get rid of them, and I mean get rid of them.
Well, yeah, you're talking about the barbecue again. I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about just getting them out of the office. Just let them go on and do whatever they're going to do on their own.
I don't want them
out of the-
influencing anybody.
Yeah, I just want them out of
That's
office.
immediately what they do, because all these people that leave the Senate, they go to the corporations that were lobbying them.
Yeah.
Start working for them. I mean, hey, we gave you a lot of lobby money and you did a lot of good for us. Why don't you come in as a consultant? Oh, yay. Yeah, no, get rid of all of them. And by get rid of, I mean, let's have a big fire and dance around it naked like natives.
No.
Because like the
last thing I want is to see a lot of these people out here naked.
The summit, or what was it, the global summit that they just had, great place for a drone strike. How about Biden over there with Trudeau and Z over there immediately after the elections? They're over there in China, drone it. Congress is oh my God, almost all of Congress is in a session, drone it.
Nah, just get
Force
them out of
change.
there.
If we don't force change, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
If we don't force change, nothing's going to change. The Constitution says, hey, you know what? You have to force change sometimes. You know what we don't do? We don't force change.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't do that we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that they blew it. It's going to be the same crap. And
It's no they, it's we. We blew it. I mean, I tried. I voted for Smiley and a couple of independents and some other people. I voted for people we've never heard of because that's change. But I did look at some of their positions before I did. I didn't get any emails back from a couple of them. I wanted to know about their stance on 2A and abortion. And I mean, these are important things. And I think that's a lot of what got the younger Democrat voters out there was, hey, we're going to give you free stuff and we're going to let you use abortion as birth control.
yeah,
Those are the strongest motivators for young female voters. You see the lines of these girls in college out there voting. It's like, yeah, I know what you're voting for, loser.
Dang. Yeah, well, that's just
The 5 stages of grief: republic, democracy, democratic socialism, socialism, communism, or dictatorship. Right now, we're right between democratic socialism and socialism. You are here.
well, getting pretty close to dictatorship at this point.
Well, I mean, I arguably, I would agree with that. But since there's a shuffling of people once in a while, oh no, it's not a dictatorship. Well, who tells Biden what to say? Who tells Biden what to do? How come the presidential seal isn't on every single podium he's in front of? Have you noticed that? Like 3 or 4 speeches, no presidential seal on the podium. Now, anytime he's speaking and there's a podium, he's supposed to have the presidential seal.
Oh yeah, but he forgets he's president.
He does. He's already said Kamala's president like 3 or 4 times. That's a wonderful thing because I've been saying she's going to be president very soon.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking after Christmas.
I don't know. Maybe at Thanksgiving.
Ah,
Well, one turkey to another.
ah. What is this based on? Ha ha! It only took me 4 seconds to think of that. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, do you think that that's a possibility that Biden will be uh
Misplaced.
removed, misplaced, walk off stage and never come back? You think that? I mean, do you think
I
there's a
think it's a
possibility?
possibility that he's going to walk out the front door of the White House and forget where he's at and just keep walking. It's a very good possibility.
Yeah. Well, to get him, it's like the Pied Piper. All you need is an ice cream truck moving just fast enough. Take him away. So yeah, but I mean, it's a very likely possibility that we'll see Madam Harris, Madam President, Madam Harris.
Yeah, good possibility. Scary.
Oh, yeah. Terrifying. We're gonna go from dumb to dumber.
You
You ever seen her make a
from
speech?
dumber to crazier, maybe. So what?
You ever seen her make a speech that made sense?
No. Did you notice there was no hesitation there?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like stepping on a landmine. Whoops. But it's all right. Like I said, for me, it's entertainment because I've never liked any political party, and I've laughed at all of it. And people get mad. Like when McCain died, I'm like, I'll take term limits any way I can get them. Oh, how can you speak ill of the dead? I said very easily.
If you spoke bad of them when they were alive, it makes no difference.
I did.
There you go.
I speak bad about all of them all the time.
Yes.
And it's funny because, the Democrats had so much power for the past 2 years or whatever. People are like, oh, you're a Trump supporter. It's like, no, you should have heard me when Trump was in office. Yeah. It's gotten so bad, though. I mean, Trump's starting to step off the edge. So there's a good chance he's not going to be able to run in 2024. Thank God. But if he's still around and he's still a viable candidate, when Biden and Trump are the only two we get to choose from, will the people realize that we are being bamboozled? Probably not, because they've got their favorite team.
Yeah, and that's the sad part right there. They that again is no choice.
Nope.
You have your hardline Trump supporters and you have your hardline Biden supporters, and but oh my God, if that's the only choices you got, we're doomed.
Yeah, and we're definitely speaking in blanket statements here because there are fringe elements that absolutely maniacal in their pursuit of vote blue no matter who or vote red or we're all dead kind of thing.
Yeah.
You've got the sliding towards centrists who are like, hey man, those guys are way out there, but we still got to vote blue or vote red. And then you got the centrists that are like, there's good ideas on both sides, which I don't see. All I see is shit ideas. And then, the pendulum is it's like pendulum is supposed to do this, but there's someone out there going,
yeah.
And then they come in and they go. So it's hilarious to watch, and it's as detrimental as it's going to be to the United States in the next decade. I laugh at all of it.
Well, I weep.
Well, it's a sad laugh.
All righty. Well, there is our time for the day.
What happened?
I said we got our time in.
What?
Yep.
You're crazy.
Well, yeah. And your point?
You know what? I think I have to take the dog to the vet today. I do.
Oh.
But that's not till 2, so we're good. Well, I really enjoyed today's episode. I think we spoke of things that needed to be spoke of.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will actually listen to it and keep the conversation going,
Well, people will listen, but they won't care. That's the big thing. Is how do you get people to care about what's going on? Because people see what's going on, and people say things about what's going on, but then, like you said, they go pull that handle for their character, so they don't care about what's going on.
Right.
How do we make people care about wanting change?
How do you make people just get out of the habit of doing the same thing over and over again?
Definition of insanity?
Yes.
And on that note, thank you for watching another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Woo! Love you all. Anybody wants to send emails to him, because no one's been sending emails to me the past couple of weeks. So obviously I'm not saying the right things, or I'm saying the very correct things. Send them to Gary at rubberchickenradio.com. Send suggestions at rubberchickenradio.com. You can text us at 253-554-6664.
What?
Is that the number?
No, it's 253-254-6664. Yeah.
254. I was close. I was very close. I was only off by 1 billion.
Yeah, you just started shuffling numbers.
Watching, thank you everyone that's listening, because sometimes people watch without listening.
There is that. Yeah.
I do that sometimes. I was like, yep, my show's going. I'm good. So
Yeah, but try and keep this conversation going, not just with us, but with, the people that you hang out with at the cooler, or wherever.
if
And
we said something good,
yeah,
talk to people about it. If we said something dumb, talk to people about it.
yeah, and you can always join us.
Offensive, too bad.
And you can always join us and get a hold of us. So feel free, and we will respond.
And if you like buying silver, go here and buy the silver. Other than that, nothing to report, sir.
All righty. Well, you have a good one. And thank you all for watching very much.
Prep the dog for surgery. Anyway, I'll talk to you real soon, boss.
All right. Take care.
Later.